But those who are moving up the scale because they're getting married, having children, or down the scale because their kids have gone, that market is still there. So the normal owner occupation market is still there. The investor market's gone a little bit, waiting for the interest rate peak and then to decline.
And in Gibraltar, obviously, there are new builds going up with what I imagine are probably buy-to-let properties. So this will have a big impact on those?
We're doing one at the moment, and there's no sign of it. So there's still interest in off plan. So that's quite good for Gibraltar because the belief in Gibraltar PLC going forward, i.e., for a property to be delivered in 2 to 3 years, is still there. It's today's market of would I buy that property over there to get 5 or 6% return. They're not doing that today.
So some people say, oh, well, 30 years ago, the interest rates were even higher than now. But I've read if you take into consideration average wages, house prices, etc., this isn't really a fair comparison.
Well, there's a few things. I think standard of living generally, whether you're looking at here, Europe, UK, is better today than it was 30 years ago. So it's not a hugely fair comparison. But those that I feel sorry for the most to say that the youngsters coming through, they didn't experience the 80s and 90s interest rates. They've just had 10 years of 1%, 0.5%, 0.1. So in their minds, incorrectly so, but in their minds, money is cheap. They've gone and got themselves nice properties, and then within an 18-month period, their mortgage rates will have ballooned if they're on a variable rate. And we may have to help those people because it's not entirely their fault.
And again, with the comparisons, although we follow the Bank of England, you can't really compare Gibraltar to the UK. Our inflation rate isn't as high, for example, cost of living, and I believe wages tend to be higher here on average.
We do suffer because the interest rates we get are from the UK. That's based on UK inflation. UK Brexiteers got their day, got rid of cheap labour, and now the UK, all these people have higher wages. Happy days for them, they've achieved what they wanted, except that's stoking inflation, so all their mortgage rates are going up. So it's sort of a self-perpetuating kind of negative. So we suffer from that. Now, Spain is about 3.2% inflation, whereas the UK is 8 point something. Here we were 7.9, but we're probably in between. But we can go to Spain, the food is cheaper, the drink is cheaper, life is cheaper, heating, utilities are cheaper here. So however bad we feel sometimes, we're not as worse off as those in the UK.
And on a somewhat separate topic, a property in Mons Calpe Mews has just gone on the market for 920,000. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that shows that the belief in Gibraltar PLC is fantastic, so well done Gibraltar PLC. I think the real danger there is the windfall profit that a few people are granted by being able to buy from the government at cost and then sell for what the market takes. And that's a huge profit, and that profit needs to be shared across the whole community because that's unfair.